So I wanted to do this video last week while it was still August, but yeah, I just wasn't able to. So this video is going to be a week late, but I'm sure all of you guys know last month, August, was Jack Kirby month. And basically for Jack Kirby month, Marvel was basically disturbing Jack Kirby's legacy by replacing all of his classic characters with modern versions that no one gives a fuck about. Meanwhile, DC was knocking out the park with one-shot specials based off of like classic characters that Jack Kirby did, like Manhunter, Darkseid, New God, stuff like that. And I decided to celebrate Jack Kirby month. Unfortunately, it's a week late, but originally I was just going to do a week of nothing but the Jack Kirby specials. But I ended up changing my mind because I figured, you know what, a lot of people are going to be doing reviews on those. So instead, for in honor of Jack Kirby, I will do something completely different. I will review actual Jack Kirby series. Like, instead of doing reviews on series by modern day writers and artists based off of characters Jack Kirby created, I would do reviews on issues that Jack Kirby himself actually wrote and illustrated and edited. So I figure we'll start off with the Forever People. And the reason why I chose this was because this is the very first introduction to Darkseid. So I'm not going to do like a whole like overview of the series. Instead, I'm just going to be doing just the first issue. First issue of the Forever People. It came out in March of... When did it come out? I know it's March because it says on the cover. 71. Okay. So March of 1971. Very first issue of the Forever People, which I believe is part of the Fourth World, like universe or meta series or however you want to describe it, that Jack Kirby created, which I want to check out. Here's a little spoiler. One of the other issues that I will be reviewing is also set in the Fourth World, and I am loving it. Like, oh man. All right, spoiler for this issue. It's fucking amazing. Like, I am like blown away by how awesome this was. And I don't want to sound like, you know, one of those, I don't want to sound like that one guy that Diversity in Comics makes fun of. The guy who's like, oh my God, I love Lockjaw. But, oh my God, I love this issue. And if it keeps up, I think I'm going to be in love with this series. Like, I always knew Jack Kirby. I mean, I've heard of him before. And I always knew that, you know, he was an all-time great. But actually reading his stuff, like, oh my God, like, damn, like, this guy is amazing. Like, wow. So yeah, like, plus I'm just like really glad that I get a chance to actually review older issues, because I've always wanted to do reviews for like old series. By old, I don't mean like just like stuff in like the 70s, but I mean stuff in the 70s, stuff in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s, 90s. Like, I want to review like some old classics, but I just figured that they're not going to get that many views. Hopefully this will, because, you know, Jack Kirby month kind of just happened and maybe people are still hyped up on Jack Kirby. But I've noticed that basically if I'm not doing any reviews on issues that just recently came out, as well as issues from the main two, DC and Marvel, then the views aren't really coming in, which is kind of sad. But yeah, I mean, if my channel was bigger, I wouldn't really care. But my channel is really small, so I'm trying to, you know, get as many views as I possibly can, just so I can grow this thing up. So yeah, we got the Forever People, and oh man, let's check out that cover. That cover is pretty sweet. So yeah, Superman's gonna be making an appearance. He's a guest star in this. So they're the Forever People from Supertown. I'll be honest, I'm not really all that familiar. I'm not familiar with pretty much anything. This is the very first time I've ever read an issue of the Forever People. So, I mean, I mentioned before, but I wasn't ever really into DC when I was younger, just because I preferred Marvel characters more. So I'm more knowledgeable about Marvel than I am DC. And I'm not like that old. Like, I wasn't around in the 70s. I was barely around in the 80s. So, I don't really know some of these characters, but I'm definitely going to be checking them out because I love this issue. So we start off with the boom tube appearing on Earth. And I like this introduction. Listen to the night. You may hear sounds heard by few men. Watch for the light. You'll see it and you're sharp. And then, hold your ears. It must be coming through. From there to here, on a trip with an infinite view. What is it? Who's in it? Well, they're both new to this age. Stand back for the answers. They're on the next page. And then we get the 2-page splash, the Forever People, in search of a dream. So the Forever People, I believe, going from left to right. It's Viking the Black. Then we get Big Bear. I think the cowboy dude's name is Seraphan. And then we have Mark Moonrider. And then, of course, special guest, Superman. Then we have like the Mother Box. I'm still kind of confused on what exactly the Mother Box is. But yeah, this was written by Jack Kirby, illustrated by Jack Kirby, and edited by Jack Kirby. So Jack Kirby was basically just a one-man army on this thing. And he did a freaking phenomenal job. God, I'm like, every panel of this is just... Alright, let's just keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to just salivate over everything. So yeah, the Forever People escape from the Boom Tube on this bitchin' futuristic motorcycle, and right in front of them we got a car coming right at them. And I guess the Forever People have this power, so basically the super cycle works like a charm. Our atoms have been reshifted so we can pass through the cars like ghosts. So they pass right through the car, and the car, I guess the occupants were freaking out, so they lose control and they fly off a cliff. Thankfully, Viking the Black uses the Mother Box almost like a giant magnet / force field to pull the couple back onto the cliffside and back to safety. And then yeah, the characters introduce themselves. You know, I'm Viking the Black. I won't lie. I kind of chuckled at this, just because the fact that the one black character is named Viking the Black. Like, I'm not saying that there's any kind of racist thing whatsoever. That's not even close to what I'm saying. I just thought it was just kind of funny that the one black character is named the Black. But yeah, we get Viking the Black, Mark Moonrider, and then, you know, Big Bear and Seraphan. And I guess we get a little introduction to Mother Box, because Viking the Black says, Mother Box lives. She talks to us, protects us. We shall need her when the time comes to rescue beautiful Dreamer. Which is, I guess, another member of the Forever People that has been taken by Darkseid. I'm still kind of confused on what Mother Box is. I've seen Mother Box appear in Forever People. I've seen it appear in the New God special that I read that came out recently. I know it has something to do with the fourth world, but I don't know what exactly the Mother Box is. So yeah, basically the Forever People are talking with the couple, and then the couple wants to have wants to take some photos of the group. I guess he's a reporter, or he has a reporter friend. I know he's friend with Jimmy Olsen. I don't know if he's actually a reporter himself, but yeah, he takes photos of them, and then he sees like a light like out in the distance, and that's from the boom tube. So he basically runs to go take a photo of the boom tube, and as they disappear, Seraphan has like I guess a vision, because yeah, basically my head, thoughts from outside streaming into my brain, and Moonrider catches him. Is like he's made contact with Beautiful Dreamer. Meanwhile, watching them in the bushes are the Intergang, who are working for Darkseid, and they contact Darkseid and they ask Darkseid, you know, should we kill the Forever People right now? And Darkseid's like, no, just, you know, follow them. And here we go, the very first appearance of Darkseid. He appears like on this little phone. It's kind of crazy, like looking at this. I mean, this was from the 70s, 1971. So I mean, obviously there was no smartphones then, but I don't know. I'm one of those people where like anytime when I see like old like sci-fi series or like old series with sci-fi elements, like Star Trek or just anything else with sci-fi in it from like the 60s, 70s, and I see like some of the technology, it's kind of crazy how they were able to like create like cell phones, and then it's not until decades later that cell phones become a thing. Like, I don't know, just like anytime when they like, I mean, like their technology aren't exactly correct in appearance, but like the way they function and stuff like that is like they nailed it, and it's kind of like it always made me wonder like how did they do that? Like it just I don't know. I'm always kind of blown away by stuff like that. Another thing I kind of like reading old issues is reading old advertisements. I could get this one right here. Join now, America's only monster fan club. It's like, there's a monster fan club? Absolutely free. Giant life-size moon monster. Over 6 feet tall. And it's all yours free when you join the monster club. And the membership fee is only $1. So for $1, you can get a giant life-size moon monster. I'm guessing poster or a cardboard cutout or something. Like if this was a thing, I would totally sign up. I want a moon monster. But yeah, it's a life-size reproduction of a movie monster. Okay, so it's photos of your favorite movie monsters. Oh, no, that's something else you get. You get 12 4x5 glossy photos of your favorite monsters. Monster Fan Club membership card. Ooh. An official club bulletin showing latest monster films releases complete with pictures and stories. And there's an extra bonus, guys. You get 3 monster masks. Terrifying, lifelike reproduction of movie monsters. They're ghastly. They're frightening. Hurry, be the first. And you get all this for only $1. Like I would totally be jumping on this. It's kind of crazy how much $1 will get you back in the day. But yeah, I love reading like old advertisements like this. I don't know why. I just do. Another funny thing is I listen to a lot of radio serials. Anyone who's seen like any of my Shadow videos I mentioned before. I mean, I have like the Shadow. I have old Superman serials. I have Green Hornet. I have basically just like a bunch of Doc Savage, Buck Rogers. So basically a bunch of old radio dramas. I have them on my iPod and I listen to them constantly. And a lot of them still keep the original advertisements in there. And some of them are just like you have like Popsicle Pete, Blue Coal. And I couldn't stop laughing at I forgot what series it was. It wasn't The Shadows. I can't remember. But the the product for the advertisement was lead-based paint. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. Like lead-based paint commercials. I probably shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I thought that was hilarious. So then all of a sudden, Jimmy Olsen arrives and he's like, Clark, you got to see these photos. They'll blow your mind. And he shows photos that he's like, a friend of mine took them. And it's the photos from of the Forever People in the boom tube. But yeah, Jimmy Olsen kind of like tells him, like, ever seen a motorcycle like that? And those kids, super kids from a place called Supertown. They called themselves the Forever People. And Superman basically looks at the photo. And we get this pretty good description. Although Clark Kent studies the photos, it is Superman's vision that probes the tube's strange depths. A tiny microdot in its infinite center is enlarged by millions, and a fantastic image is revealed. And it's, I guess, Supertown. Yeah, so Superman tells him, tell me the entire story. And Jimmy Olsen says, you bet. Even as a lie, this yarn would be a whopper. Like, I love reading these, like, classic, like, slangs and terminology. I don't know what it is. There's just something about reading old issues that I freaking love. Like, I'm not one of those people where, I'll use a video game example. There are people out there who can't play a PlayStation game. No matter how great, like, a PlayStation game is, they can't play it because of the graphics. Like, they can't play classic Mario on the Nintendo. They can't play classic Sonic on the Genesis because the graphics are too bad. So I know there are people out there who, like, will never pick this up because they don't care for the art. The art is the art's old school. But I love this art. The story is amazing. The dialogue is interesting and also just like hilarious just because of the terminology that they use. Because no one talks like that anymore. But like I always love like reading stuff like that. And then of course the advertisements. Advertisements are funny as well. But yeah, I love reading like old classic comics. So yeah, Superman, Clark turns into Superman and he flies off to go find the kids. And as he's flying, he gets he doesn't notice the Inter-gang flying in a helicopter, and they report to Darkseid, and Darkseid basically says, take Superman out of the picture. So I thought this was like this. This is kind of funny. Like when Darkseid gives an order, it must be obeyed. Inter-gang is only small apples in the crime empire he's building. There's more to Darkseid than that. He makes me believe that Dracula is alive and well in Transylvania. Dracula's alive and well in Transylvania. It's kind of funny because Dracula is alive in DC and Marvel universe. He notices the Forever People, and he goes to go talk to them when he's zapped by a Sigma blast, which knocks him down. And of course, he's Superman, so it doesn't really do much to him. He gets up, grabs a tree, rips it out of its roots, and he chucks it at the helicopter. And I thought this is kind of interesting. I'm like, Superman doesn't kill, but he almost killed these guys. Like, if they hadn't have jumped out of the helicopter, he would have just impaled them. Like, I don't know about this guy on the left. It looked like maybe his legs might have gotten hit. But yeah, the Forever People are like, good works. Super Towner, and Superman's like, I'm not from Super Town. And he wants to like ask them questions, but Big Bear is like, don't waste time on him, Moon Rider. We've got to find Beautiful Dreamer. And Superman's like thinking, well, maybe if I befriend these guys and help them, they'll tell me more about Super Town. So he uses his X-ray vision, and then he's like there beneath a shrub, a sort of strange metal valve, and Big Bear rushes to it, and before Superman can stop him, Big Bear turns it, and it releases like this poison gas. So Superman flies in like a tornado to disperse the gas. And then all of a sudden the gravity guards pop up. You know who the gravity guards remind me of? They remind me of the Cavity Creeps. We make holes in teeth. We make holes in teeth. Like as soon as I saw them, I was like, that's what they are. They're the Cavity Creeps. But no, they're called the gravity guards. The Forever People are kind of knocked out by the gas. Or not knocked out, but they're kind of not at their best, and the gravity guards are like beating the crap out of Superman, which I thought was really surprising. So I thought this was really cool right here. So Viking like holds up the Mother Box and he's like, "Rise, Mother Box, unite us as one. Send him your signal, Mother Box. Make us the door for him to enter. Prepare for the word, Mother Box. Let your circuits carry the word. Let it grow loud until it reaches the winds of infinity." And then all of a sudden, Infinity Man appears. Who does Infinity Man remind me of? He reminds me of somebody. Especially that helmet. I don't know what. The helmet kind of looks like a water tower, though. And then he has like the little booty shorts. That's another thing I love about old comics is the costume designs are just so weird and flamboyant, but I freaking love them. Like nowadays, like a lot of the costumes, there are a lot of cool costumes now, and they're like, but a lot of them are kind of like grim, or it's like they're going out of the way to be cool. Like they're all like sleek and dark colors and stuff. Whereas back in the days, it's like you had people with like bright yellow, green, light blue outfits that were just like flamboyant. Look at this guy. He's wearing like what looks like almost like the Roman chest armor with the shoulder pads, and then what looks like booty shorts with greaves and boots, and then a water tower helmet. Oh, but I freaking love it. So yeah, he I guess his powers is infinite, I guess. Like he says, I have heard, I am here, I am the Infinity Man, where all of natural law shifts and bends and changes, where the answer to gravity is anti-gravity and is simply done. So I guess he like reverses gravity to knock two of these guys off. Power knows no prejudice. The savage wields it as well as a civilized man. Your rules don't apply to me, evil one. He like beats the hell out of these cavity creeps with these. So yeah, Superman is asking where the Forever People are, and Infinity Man tells him like they're safe. And then Superman's this great pearl couldn't be named. Darkseid could it? Holocaust and death is what he serves. That is why he abducted the girl. She is one of the few whose mind can fathom the anti-life equation, the ultimate weapon. Release her, Darkseid. I know you can hear me. You are never far from your traps. Release the girl. Her mind will resist enslavement by machines. And then Darkseid just pops up. He's like, all right, fine. You can have the girl back. Like, no joke. He's just like, I'm here, fine, here's your girl. Keep her. I don't want her anyways. So yeah, they asked for Beautiful Dreamer. And then, like I said, Darkseid's like, all right, fine, you can have her. I don't want her anyways. So this contraption pops up and Beautiful Dreamer is there. And Darkseid's like, there are others who can solve the equation. One of them shall yield to me. And when the secret is mine, I shall test it here. Snuff out all life on earth with a word. Now farewell, I leave as I come, with the power to vanish as quickly as I appeared. And then Darkseid disappears. And then I guess there's bombs under Beautiful Dreamer. They're Radion bombs. And if kind of like the whole Indiana Jones thing with the very first movie with the sand trap, where you have to remove the idol at the same time that you place the sand on because the weight has to stay the same. Basically, if they take Beautiful Dreamer out, the bombs will explode. But Superman is super fast, so he just zooms by, grabs a girl, and then he outruns the explosion. And I was just thinking, man, Superman better be thankful that the explosion isn't that big. Because can you imagine if it was like a nuke? Then even if he outran the blast, there are going to be like civilians who couldn't. But it was a small explosion, so everyone's okay. Beautiful Dreamer's freed. Infinity Man disappears, and the Forever People arrive. So the Forever People are like, Superman, for helping us, what can we do to show our gratitude? Ask us anything. And Superman says, help me reach Supertown. And Mark Moonrider is like, that's easy, but why do you want to go there now? Darkseid is here. He must be stopped. And Superman's just like really obsessed with seeing Supertown. Like, I don't know why. I'm assuming it had something to do with like previous Superman issues. Is he thinking that that's where he was from? Because I would assume he knew he's from Krypton and not a place called Supertown. But yeah, so Moon Rider's like, I tell you, the action is here, and you and all of Earth are involved. And Superman's like, if there's danger, I'll be back. But they're like still trying to convince him, like, but if Darkseid conquers, there will be nothing, not even Supertown. So they're trying to convince Superman that, like, no, don't go to Supertown, stay here, because this is where Darkseid is going to be, and we need you to help us fight him. But Superman's like, no, I want to see Supertown, and if anything happens, I can always come back. So they're like, all right, whatever. So they create a boom tube to Supertown, and he flies in, and as he's flying through the boom tube, it says, but deep within Superman feels the sting of apprehension. Does the answer really lie ahead of me? Darkseid and his hidden terrors, the anti-life equation, the danger to mankind? Am I going the wrong way? Is Earth the battleground for some strange super war? It could be as real as the boom tube, and I may be deserting mankind when it needs me the most. I can't go on. I can't. And so Superman returns back to Earth, and he's able to look at the boom tube just in time to see it start to disappear, and he catches a glimpse of Supertown. And then it ends with Superman just like sitting on a rock, depressed. He's like, perhaps someday I'll try again, but the time is not now, not yet. And then, in the next issue, the mystery surrounding the Forever People begins to unfold in Super War, which kind of makes me wonder if Superman ever got his chance to go to Supertown. Maybe he did. It'll be kind of funny. Like a couple issues later, Superman is like on Earth, and he just has like a T-shirt that says, "I went to Supertown, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt." But yeah, that's the end of the Forever People, issue number 1. I freaking love it. Oh my god, like this is the first time I've ever heard of the Forever People. Like, can you believe that? Like, I thought, you know what, Pirate? Let's do some classic Jack Kirby issues. And I was just looking through, and then I didn't want to do any like classic characters that people really know. So I was just like looking through his body of work, and then I saw Forever People, and I saw that it had like a science fantasy kind of genre, and I'm always a fan of those. So yeah, I decided all right, let's read Forever People, and I freaking love it. It is amazing. I'm definitely gonna be reading the rest of this series. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the very first Jack Kirby special for this week. I will be doing 2 more, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Would you guys like to see me do more classic comics? Because I can do comics from like I said, like comics from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Even though it's kind of funny to say 90s is classic, but I mean it is like over 2 decades ago, more than 2 decades ago, almost 3 decades ago. But yeah, if you guys would like to see me do classic comics, just let me know. I would love to. I would love to do it. It's just I just don't think that there's really that big of an audience for it. But if there is, this is something I would definitely love to do. So yeah, what do you guys think? I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Forever People. Are any big fans out there? I'm kind of hoping that, you know what, since like the DC universe is like expanding with all the TV shows and movies, I'm hoping they do a Forever People. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Later.